Hey guys, welcome back to That Track Channel. We're down here in Beech Bend Raceway down in Kentucky, and we are checking out the Golden Kong that belongs to Kallee Mills. Don't be going anywhere. We're gonna bring you all that action right now. Well guys, we are here with none other than Kallee Mills. Kallee, how you doing today?
Good, how are you doing?
Oh, no complaints. We're down here at Beech Bend, down in Kentucky. The people are nice, the weather is hot.
Hot, yes.
Very hot.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about you and let the fans know a little bit more about Kallee Mills. So Kallee, how long have you been in the drag racing scene? When did you get started with cars?
So I started racing when I was 8 years old in a junior dragster, which is the long, skinny cars.
Yeah.
I moved up to a small tire, single turbo, LS powered X275 car at the age of like 16-ish. And that goes, so I went from running like essentially 790s in the 8th mile to like 430s. Like, so that's a pretty big jump.
Wow.
And then after that, I actually went to college after I graduated high school. So I like kind of stepped out of the racing scene for a little bit. I raced during the summers just because I was like concentrating on my schooling and things like that. I have a degree in marketing. So, and then full time when I graduated college, I got into the behind the wheel of this car. Well, not this exact car, but a car built just like this. And it had twin turbos on it. So we ran that. My dad wrecked it on one of the shows on Street Outlaws. They were street racing and he totally destroyed my car. So I got a new car and you're looking at it. So this is the rebuild, but it's all new. There's nothing we've used from the old car. Did a lot of Outlaw Big Tire, Future Street Outlaws racing, kind of just making my wave in here. Got invited in with my new car, this car, with the twin turbos on it, which was last season. And haven't really looked back now. Last season we did pretty good towards the end of the season. And then we put the screw blower on, all faithful here. And now we're just kind of running. She's got a screw blown Hemi.
Yeah.
And so this is our new setup now. I really like it. I like it better than the turbos. A lot of people ask why, and I say because the turbo stuff is really, really hard to get down on the big end. You know, you're trying to go 220 mile an hour when these things are only going 200 and like 10 or whatever.
Right.
And so you really have to get after it down low when the track is good down low versus out the back. So that's why we decided to go the screw blown route, and plus Justin and I can kind of use the same data and everything. Well, and now our whole team's screw blowers. So
now this is a 521 cubic inch. Is that what it is? I believe that's what it is. I think it's a 521 cubic inch Hemi, screw blown car. And I mean, it's amazing. This is quite the car to watch run. And the noise, you guys at home, you probably have no idea what these things sound like, but let me tell you this, I gotta wear ear protection. It actually usually knocks the camera out of alignment whenever these cars take off. Now, actually, one other thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was pretty funny. You guys have a YouTube channel of your own, right? Mills Racing,
Mills
is that correct?
Yes.
So Kallee here is probably one of the only people I know that's actually been street racing in Mexico. Do you want to take a minute and give me a little story about that? How did that all go down?
So we have a vacation like every Christmas and New Year's because that's the only time that we can like go on vacation because we're racing all the time. And we basically like we've been there for 2 years in a row, and we're like, man, we're like, what's there to do? So I found an ATV tour. Okay? And so we're going on this ATV tour, and we're on like a bus. So in Cabo, they come and pick you up from your resort on like a bus, and you go there and you come back because we don't drive, like we don't have a rental car or anything. So we're leaving and we're coming back from the ATV tour on this like barely asphalt road, like very sketchy road. And we see these people unloading their cars on the side of the road. And so we're like, there has to be they're street racing. Like, let's go to the street races, you know? So we get on to like a group. I don't even remember what it was. The group.
It was Juan something.
Yeah. So we found Legal S1. Legal S1 is the street racing channel in Mexico.
Yes.
So we got on like a vacation spot place, and we were like, "Is there any street racing?" ? And we explained what happened. And so after that, we had some people messaging us, and we're like, "Are these people real? Are they cops? Are they like gonna kill us?" And so, anyways, we meet up with we tell them like, "Hey, we're at this resort." They come. They knew who I was because I was racing Street Outlaws.
Of course, that's so awesome.
And they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" And like at this point, they're like, "Do you know Mike Murillo?" We FaceTimed Mike Murillo, Daddy Dave, all these people. They're like, "We're gonna put together a race for you tomorrow night." And we're like, okay, I guess that's cool. Like, we're excited, but we're not really sure what this is going to entail.
Yeah.
And so we get going. You know, they come to our resort, we take their names, they get their IDs, and everyone was super nice. Never felt uncomfortable or unsafe. They came and picked us up. The guy actually that runs the whole deal owns a transportation service in Cabo, so he picked us up in like this van, nice van. We had coolers, we had hot dogs. They took care of us. It was like we were royalty over there.
Right.
And so went out, and we had, I think it was 16 cars show up for this small tire race. The craziest thing I've ever experienced. Like, these guys don't shut down the road. Like, you know, when we have street races over here, you know, they kind of shut the road off, or they do it on like a
deserted area or something, right?
Or like a storage facility or something. No, they are literally out there with flashlights, and there's semi-trucks. They only shut down 2 lanes. It's a 4-lane road. So 2 lanes going this way and then 2 lanes going the other way. They shut down this side, and the way they shut it down is they all stand out there with flashlights, and they're waving their flashlights.
Right.
And so there's a semis coming this way as 2 cars are running down. Nuts.
I saw you guys had cash money up on the line there too. That was pretty solid.
So we put up some money, like,
of course, for the pot. Yeah.
That came. They decided what they wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We had a great time. And now people are messaging me like, "When are you coming back to Cabo?" And I'm like, hopefully New Year's. So
of course.
Maybe we can get that going again. That'd be fun.
Kallee, don't be judging me. I may or may not go street racing in Mexico quite often. We'll leave that alone though. But Kallee here has actually been street racing in Mexico, so that's pretty awesome.
In Cabo San Lucas. And mind you, we were drag racing in front of the president's house because that's where they drag race, because they took their drag strip away.
Really?
So they do it in front of his house.
So they protest.
Basically, yes.
Okay, so enough about street talk. This thing is no joke. Whenever we look at this car, do you know the stats on something like this? Like when we're on an 8th mile, what kind of time do you know what's roughly it's putting down? Or have you ever quarter mile hit it? Or?
No, I've never ran quarter mile in this car. I've ran quarter mile in other cars, but anywhere between 370s to mid 380s is fast, I would say.
370s to 380s. And mile an hour wise, are you 210 or 200?
Like 200, mid 200, I would say. We've never like, the car's faster now than we did when we tested, obviously. So yeah, I would say a good time, which for any cars, you know, 370s is pretty quick on the no prep surface.
Right.
And so that's what I would say is what we run.
That's no joke, guys. For you guys watching at home, you guys know how fast 370s are on the 8th. Like, we're talking mind-blowingly fast here, and it's so cool to be seeing this run. And we're actually going to see a lot of runs with this car this weekend. So Kallee's got to race her way. You have to race your way in? Oh no, you're already in Invitational,
no,
of course.
I have to draw for
you have to draw.
the grade 8.
Right.
Me, Jim, and Justin, but all 3 have to draw.
Right.
Because we're in a tie. So hopefully we draw the lucky chips.
Okay, so we're going to see a pretty action-packed weekend from you, and hopefully we'll get to film a lot of that.
Yeah.
While I got you here, though, talk to me about transmission in this car. What do you run in this car?
It's an M&M transmission, 3-speed.
Yeah.
That's great, and also a torque converter, M&M torque converter as well.
Right, and fuel for a car like this, are you guys on?
Methanol.
Methanol.
Just methanol. That's all that's legal is methanol. We can't run M5, which M5 is mixed with nitro a little bit. We can't run nitro, no matter what anyone says. Jim Howe's not running nitro. So
there you go. You heard it from Kallee, direct.
Yeah, none of us are running nitro. Fuel Tech, on board Renegade Race Fuels. That's who we run through Fuel Tech. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Brad Anderson, me and my dad actually built this motor in our shop.
Okay, I got another question for you. What about sponsors? Do you guys do this all on your own, or do you have sponsors that are helping out along the way?
I do have a couple of good sponsors. I wouldn't say that they're friends. Like we really, you know, have met people through racing that we love their companies and they love us, and so we like Race Star Wheels is one of my sponsors. Baskin Truck Sales, who's actually here this weekend, he is one of my sponsors. But it's more like a friendly deal. Like we you know, take pride in ourselves and the companies that we.
Of course. Like, Isky Race Cams. Do I see them kicking around sometimes?
Yeah, Isky for sure. We actually just got on board with them. Nolan and Megan Taylor have been out hanging around, and Megan Taylor, her sister Alex, is really big into the drag and drive stuff, and so I've always like really loved Alex and everything she's stood for, because we're about the same age. So she's super awesome. So like I said, it's all just like a family affair, you know. We like to support the people that support the sport and that support us. So
of course. And for you guys watching at home, you guys know I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and we actually have a couple drivers from our area that are as well sponsored by Isky.
Yeah.
Right? So Schrader Ends is one of them. I know there's quite a few of them that are actually sponsored in our area. Those are guys that rock and roll with Drag Week. They're winners, they're champs, you know. And obviously Isky's involved in this level of racing too, right? So
they have their hand in a lot of different things. So just because you're not out there, you know, running a Screwball and Hemi doesn't mean that Isky cams or lifters can't, you know, have something for you, for sure.
Of course. So one more question I have for you. Can you talk to me about safety with a car like this? So when you're gearing up, obviously safety is probably the most important thing that's coming to mind.
For sure.
What are you strapping up with? Are you Hans and all that, or?
Yeah, so I have a Stroud Safety, which this is crazy too. Stroud Safety, they're out of Oklahoma City, so their hometown, you know, we're kind of from the same area. I wear a 20-layer suit, the head sock, the helmet, the Hans, all of that. And you know, we're pretty safe in these things. I mean, I've seen some pretty wicked crashes. My dad's crashed pretty good a couple times, and he's come out okay. So, you know, safety is really important. It's something that we do not take, like, we take it serious and we don't jip out on it. You know, you got to make sure that you're wearing the right safety equipment. And because, you know, when you crash and things, it happens. You know, it's not like, you know, it's if, it's when, you know. So,
absolutely. And you know, we just actually watched John Odom's teammate Jim Howe in Brainerd, Minnesota last weekend hit the wall, and Jim would tell you firsthand, you know, he's gone 35 plus years of racing, never crashed, right? And you kind of have to say never say never, right? Because I mean, it could happen, right?
It could definitely happen. You know, sometimes you can't prevent it. You get oil under the tires, someone runs into you.
Of course.
You never know. When you're out there on the you know, track, you got to always make sure that you're the safest you can be.
Of course. Awesome. Well, I'd love for you to show me the interior of this car really quickly while we're here, before you obviously got some runs to do this weekend. But yeah, let's take a look. Okay, guys, let's check out the interior of this car. Big Kallee get in here just to show us around. But talk to us about the difference between a turbo car and a blower car. What's going on here?
So, as most of you guys know, we put a screw blower on, as I've always done turbos. So, basically, I'm going to walk you through what a turbo would do, and like the burnout and et cetera, what changed of mine. So, in the beginning, you're up here, you got the power on, turn the ignition on in the turbo car. You just press the start button up here. Car started. You're gonna go through, you're gonna do the burnout, and you're gonna start in first gear. So you go up, roll through the burnout box. You're gonna press this line lock button right here on the steering wheel. You're gonna hold it down, and you're gonna give it a bunch of brake pressure, as much as you can give it, usually about 800 pounds. You're gonna give it some gas, get the tires rolling, and then you're gonna shift into second, then shift into third, let off the line lock, stay in the gas, roll through the burnout. Pretty simple. So the screw blower, this is all I do. Starting over from the beginning. Turn the power on. There's a guy in front of the car. You'll see him open the throttle wheel, spray methanol. I have to make sure he gives me the okay to start it up, because if he has the throttle all the way open and I start it up, it's gonna rev as high as he's got it open. So he closes it, I start it up. I got it going here. I shift into third gear and I just roll up there until they tell me to stop. As soon as they tell me to like, let's go, gas it. Off the brake, on the gas. A lot simpler than the turbo where you gotta shift and you gotta make sure you do all that. Okay, turbo car. So I back up from the burnout. Neutral is also reverse. So to go through in reverse, you gotta use the trans brake button. So this is the trans brake button over here. You back up, get up there, sitting there, you know, you just clean the motor out. First gear, you're rolling up. So when you roll up, this is on the turbo car, you'll roll up, you'll light the top bulb, and then you're gonna push the trans brake button in. As soon as the top bulb's lit, you're gonna take off the brake, press the gas all the way to the floor. All the way down to the floor. As soon as it comes up, it'll start popping. It'll go pop, 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 pop. That's when you press the bump button. This steering wheel, it's right here, press that, you're ready to, you light your bottom bulb, other person's in, you're going. So, blower car, pretty simple. All you gotta do, or sounds simple, it took me a couple tries to like really nail it down. You roll up there, turn your top bulb on, the other person turns theirs on, go in the second. As soon as all 4 bulbs are lit, you just press the brake, trans brake, mash the gas, and you're ready to go. So it's a little bit different staging process. The screw blower sounds a lot easier, but it was definitely a lot different than the turbo car. And when you're racing turbo cars your whole life, it was pretty difficult to get used to. So essentially, the only buttons I use now is just the trans brake button. I don't use the line lock or the button button.
Gotcha.
So that's the only thing. Of course, you got your parachutes right here. Fire suppression system right here. So if I'm ever in fire, I gotta get the car stopped, and then I gotta pull the fire suppression system.
So now is that CO2 for the trans brake, or what is that?
Yes, it does the parachutes, and it used to also do the turbos, like when I had that. But right now, all it is for is the, and I think we might have some dump valves that it helps too. But and then I also have fresh air. So this hose right here, it slides onto my helmet, and I can turn it on, and it gives me fresh air in my helmet. So that's something pretty cool too. You know, we got the safety window net, this nice pour-in seat that fits me perfectly, and yeah. So that's pretty much what it's like to be staging and doing a burnout. Something pretty kind of crazy is I drive with one hand going down the track. As soon as I let off the trans brake, I go straight to my parachute, and you'll see me driving one-handed. If I get tire shaker out of the groove, I'll immediately throw the chute and drive through it.
So Kallee, talk to me about what's the experience like when you let this thing go off the line. Like, is this car absolutely vicious to drive? What's the whole experience like?
Actually, you would think that it would be like, you know, feel like it was just crazy and uncontrollable, but honestly, this car in my setup right now, it's controlled. Like, it feels good. Right when you let off, it squats a little bit, and then it just takes off. And people ask me all the time, what's it like to let go of the button? And it's like, I can't tell you anything it's like because I've never experienced anything like this. You know, I've rode roller coasters, and, you know, I've done all this stuff, and nothing compares to this. But it's definitely like an addiction, I would say. It's something that I've never felt before, and once you feel it, it's like, if you like it, you just have to keep going and keep going and keep going. And so definitely if you're going straight, it's good. Once you get down track, if the tracks are a little sketchy, you know, you get driving and you're like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So I don't know, I would say it's nothing like I've ever felt, and I can't really explain it or like give you a word to explain it. That
right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Now, you've obviously toured all over America. You've been everywhere. Is there a favorite racetrack for you at all?
I really like Norwalk, Ohio. It's one of my favorites. And then as well as like Joliet, Chicago, Joliet, that track there. It's just, they're beautiful. The racetracks are pretty, and so yeah.
Awesome. I'll tell you what, I'll get you to hop out of here and take me through the back of the car here. Let's talk tires, tire size, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, Kallee, you gotta talk about this tire size. I'm sorry, this is kind of almost comical looking to me. Look at the size of this thing. So what is this exactly?
This is a 34.5.
Are they like 17 inches wide or something like that? I think that's what they are.
17 inches wide, 34.5. This is pretty much what everybody's running here at No Prep Kings. And that's pretty much it. You know, last year a lot of the guys ran 36s. We all always stuck with 34s on this car, so yeah.
Okay, so you never actually had to have any learning curve, because I have heard from quite a few guys that were running 36-inch tires that it has been an adjustment going to a 34.5, so I guess you never had to worry about that.
Well, we tried 36s on this car and it didn't work out, so we just kind of stuck with the 34s. So I have been on 36s. It's just this car likes 34s better, so.
Right. Awesome. So back here, obviously we have a wing out back. We got parachutes.
You see this thing right here?
Yeah, talk to me about that actually.
So this is actually like the oil. You can see a little bit of oil where this is the extra oil and stuff. It's kind of just like a drain tank.
Yeah, so that's like crankcase ventilation or whatever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got your parachutes, very important. Wheelie bars, very important. And that's pretty much it. That's back here. Pretty simple, not much.
Now, a lot of this car what kind of materials is most of this car made out of? Is it carbon fiber a lot, or?
It's steel roof and quarters, and then the front is carbon fiber. Yeah, so.
Awesome. Well, Kallee, I gotta say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
No problem.
I'm gonna follow you, if you don't mind, throughout the weekend here and hopefully watch you kick ass and win that invitational. So good luck.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you. Kallee, that was one heck of a race.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It felt good. I went down and the car was on a roll, and it was on the drive shaft curve, so they have a way to control the tire and the motor and everything to make sure it doesn't stop there and shake. Shaking off the drive shaft curve, and then about that time my window goes, and I got some breeze. It was nice. It's a nice little breeze, but we'll fix it. It's not that big a deal. So that was great. Bobby Rolling, double bolt, Scott Taylor did that last week. Learned my lesson on that. I really took my time and rolled in and tried all my ducks in a row before I went in on the bulb. So had a pretty good ride, I think. So we'll see. Watch the video. We're going to get pretty good. It's hard to get out of the suit.
Of course.
AC and some water.
Of course. Well, awesome. Congrats. We look forward to seeing you in the next round.
Thank you.
Kallee Mills, what's going on, girl?
Oh, not much. Just waiting on second round.
Speaking of second round, who'd you draw?
We drew Murder Nova.
Murder Nova. What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely think he's pretty fast, but he's definitely beatable. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome to hear. Good luck in the second round.
Thank you.
Good job. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So Kallee, it seems like there's no stopping you. You drew Murder Nova and you put him to rest.
Yes, thankfully.
Good run out there. How did the run feel?
Good, it felt great. The car did its job. I think we left it about the same. And so we definitely had a good pass. It was so close at the end, so, but yeah.
Awesome. Moving on. I'm hoping to see you go all the way
Down
today,
to
girl.
8 cars.
Awesome. Good luck.
Thank you.
I thought she had that.
I don't ruin 2 outfits, don't get me.
So Kallee, round 3, you drew Scott Taylor. How did that go?
So everything went pretty good. I was a little late on the tree. These guys out here, I don't know what's going on, but they are like dialing in on that the green bulb. I don't know if they're counting, if they got delay in their fuel tech or what, but it's one of those deals. I was a little bit late. Scott drilled the tree, took a chance on it, and it's just one of those deals. We lost. I felt like I had a pretty fast car, and unfortunately lost on the tree. Probably lost the race on the tree, I would say.
Hey, in fairness though, girl, round 3, that's no joke, you know? It's
No,
not like
no.
round 1 knockout or anything.
Round 3 definitely is good. You know, I guess I just need to practice beating these guys at their game is what I would say. And but I don't know.
Absolutely, you're rocking
Yes.
those points, and I'm sure Swan Gang's got to be proud of you.
Yeah, I think right now we have the Swan Gang curse. All of us have been losing in 3rd round, so we need to figure out how to get past 3rd rounds, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thanks for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you guys.